In this video today, I'm going to go over some examples, some ideas. It's not designed for do this, it's the only way, but it is more for you to think how you've structured your crypto, your security, and to inform you on some of the scams that are out there so that you don't fall victim to them. Because it seems as of late, I'm getting more and more people saying, hey, my email's been hacked. Hey, my wallet's been hacked, and I want to not have any more of those calls. I want everybody to feel comfortable and be secure in their crypto, as well as the rest of their life. So we're going to go through what I call the priority threats. We're going to look at seed phrase storage, signing scams, and social scams, and so that you can understand what is actually going on out there, because I've decided that how I handle my hardware wallets is different than how I handled them about a year ago. So seed phrase storage, huge topic, and let's make sure you do it right, because you should never enter your seed phrase into your computer or phone, whether that be typing it, whether that be storing it in an email or in even an encrypted folder. You really have to be careful. And I've worked with some people that said, oh yeah, I have it written down on my computer in a notepad. And like that's not the way to do it. And I would consider that compromised. Don't split the seed phrase up. Some people think that that's safer, but you can brute force. If you have half of them, you can brute force most likely the rest of them. Consider recovery in case of your own death. So your seed phrase, I know this is a dark topic. Make sure other people in your family that you trust, someone like that, knows where those are and what they are. Because if you happen to pass and no one has access to your crypto, they don't know the PIN, they're going to need those 24 words to gain access, or 12 words, to your crypto. Buy hardware wallets directly from the manufacturer. Don't go to Amazon. Don't go to eBay. For God's sake, please do not go to eBay. Don't trust anybody. That's the bottom line. Trust yourself, but don't trust anybody else. Don't trust me. This is information that I'm giving you. Make multiple physical copies of your seed phrase. Know where you're going to store them. Store them in a safe or a safe place. Don't store them in a lockbox in a bank. Those lockboxes are not really ours, and other people can go into them and get that information. I'm not a fan of steel plates. That is the concept of putting your 24 words into steel. If anybody does see that steel plate, they will know exactly what it is. Also, you really can't ever destroy those steel plates. So I had a client once who was in Hawaii. They were moving to the mainland. It's like, how are you going to get those steel plates? And they, well, we'll just send it in the mail. I'm like, no, you don't let those steel plates out of your sight, because you don't know what you don't know. And if anybody looks nowadays at those steel plates or anything in steel, they're going to know that those 24 words are used for a crypto hardware wallet. Do not use a password manager to store your seed phrase. Do not type them into your computer. There's malware. Do not store them on the cloud, and do not digitize them unless you know 100% what you're doing. And that's why I say do not digitize them. There was another video that I put out, probably a year ago, and that really showed how you exploit exploits in browsers. And not only could you see what someone was typing in their browser, you could see what they were typing on their computer. So that's why I say don't ever type your 24 words into something. We're going to talk about signing scams, because I don't think a lot of people understand what a signing scam is, and it's out there. And I'll show you a couple examples of someone who had all their crypto taken away from them because of a signing scam. Signing scams are dangerous when using DeFi and NFT platforms. Why is that? Well, you're not exactly sure what you're signing in that smart contract. I would not trust any little website anymore, any website that I don't know for sure, even the big websites. And so I've changed my ways of how I'm going to do DeFi, if I do that in the future, how I'm going to do certain stakings and that type of thing. So you really have to see how comfortable you are and how vulnerable you think you might be. But this is my next step of what I'm going to do when I do certain swaps, when I approve certain smart contracts that I can't read. I mean, would you go into a bank, sit down and have the banker give you a contract and say, just please sign? Oh, no, you don't need to read it. Oh, no, you just trust us. No one would do that. So why do we do that for our smart contracts? Well, we really can't go in and see what the smart contract says. So always use two hardware wallets, one cold, which I'll explain, and then one that's hot cold. And what do you mean by that, George? What's hot cold? Well, let's go to... If you're going to use something like Uniswap, if you're going to use a site, a DeFi site that you're just not too familiar, you're not sure how safe it is, what I am now suggesting is that you use multiple hardware wallets. The one to your left, the black one next to the Bitcoin and Ethereum, and who knows what that one is. This is your cold wallet. This is the wallet that you store everything in. You can store them in multiple if you feel comfortable. But that I would never have this ledger talk directly to a smart contract that I am not 100% sure about. So if you go to Uniswap, if you go to, there's a whole bunch of different DeFi platforms out there that we don't know what we're signing. I would send a ledger that hold all your crypto to a middleman, which would be another ledger that you only use for holding the coins and then doing some type of swap or DeFi, so that if for some reason you sign a smart contract that could compromise your hardware wallet, it's only this hardware wallet that's compromised. It's not your big bag of cryptos that is compromised. There is an example that I'll go through where a guy lost everything because he signed a smart contract that he did not know what the fine details were because you can't read them. So if you're doing a lot of DeFi, if you're doing NFTs, if you are on websites that you're just not sure how reputable they are, I would look at this method because it will save you a lot of painful heartbreaks in the future. So that's what I'm recommending now when you go to different platforms. So you're saying, this is a lot of work. Why are you doing this? Because there have been a lot of people that have had some big issues out there. And so let's take a look at them. So I've talked about this one on the live stream, our Thursday live streams, and it's a reminder, if you have ever used LastPass to save your seed phrase, consider it compromised. Blockchain security researchers, among whom revealed weeks ago that hundreds of wallets have been siphoned for more than 35 million due to LastPass's encryption vaults being cracked and offering access to the seed phrase stored within them. It is, certifiably correct that it's happening out there. And look at all the other breaches that we've had. Read this on your own, but Slack, Auth0, LastPass, the list, GitHub, Twilio, Authy, Signal. That's Cloudflare, MailChimp, DigitalOcean. This was back, I think this posting was January of this year. And there have been, 23andMe is one of the latest ones. I hate to say this, but Luke Dash Jr., he was one of the core devs for Bitcoin. And I know this may not make a lot of sense, but he says, PSA, my PGP key is compromised, and at least many of my Bitcoin stolen. I have no idea how. Please help. His PGP key was basically his encryption key for his computer, and he was storing his Bitcoins, all 200, on his computer. The private key was on his computer, and somehow he was engineered into having his PGP key compromised, and they went in then and got into his computer and took his private key and stole all his 200 Bitcoin. So, this is an expert in the field, and he got hacked. And it's not just him. There are a lot of people that are getting hacked. He stored his Bitcoin in Bitcoin knots, and it appeared that at that point in time, this was compromised. So, we're not even trusting the wallets that are storing some of our crypto, especially when we have our own private keys in our hands. We need to put them into hardware wallets so we don't even know what they are. Let the hardware wallet handle that. And you could have a keylogger on your computer. So when you type those 24 words in different places, someone could install that. There could be a compromise in a browser. So here is something that is just kind of insane to think about. But this is a screenshot from MetaMask, and MetaMask says, they recommend, how do I save my secret recovery phrase? Save it in a password manager? No. Store it in a safe deposit box? No. Both of those examples we've seen have been compromised. Don't just think it's not going to happen to me, because it will. It's happened to people that are experts in the field. And here is another. So lost 20 plus ETH overnight from a hot wallet due to storing the seed phrase on LastPass. This problem appears to be widespread. If you've ever used LastPass, it's time to GTFO. Update your passwords and abandon your wallets with the seed that were stored there. It appears that social scams are the most common way money or crypto are stolen. I would assume everything incoming is a scam. So you get an email, you get a direct DM, text message, you get a call on your phone. Consider it a scam until proven otherwise. I mean, I have Telegram up. I think about once a week I get, some very attractive woman in a picture saying, hey, I came across your name in another group. And I used to, play along a little bit and like, oh, what group? And they really wouldn't tell me. And now I just don't answer. I just delete it. There's no reason I want to interface with them at all. I don't need any more friends, especially from Telegram. Just stop friending people that you don't know, that you haven't physically met, and it'll make your life a lot easier. Because last year, 1 out of every 4 fraud victims said it started with either a social media direct message, ad, or post. So how do you spot a social scam? It's not easy at times, and yes, sometimes it's very easy. Changes over time. You used to be able to easily see them because messages, including a lot of grammatical and spelling errors, would show up, but AI is changing that. Someone can put the ideas that they want to come across, and AI will turn it into a great looking message. So you can't rely on grammar and spelling errors anymore. If someone has a brand new social media profile with little content or few friends, that's a real sign. The profile belongs to someone to whom you thought you were already friends to. My mom had this many times, where someone would just duplicate her picture close to her name and then try to befriend her friends. You receive random messages with a link in it. Never click on links or engage with unsolicited direct messages. If someone is trying to contact you and you don't know them, there's no reason to continue the conversation. Someone insists on taking the conversation off social media and asks to text them. Don't do it. You're asked to send money or crypto. Just don't. No, it's not a great deal. No, you really aren't going to make tons of money or crypto in the exchange. I know 3 people in the group that have fallen for some of these social scams, where be invited to a new trading platform and you might get some bonuses for going and putting a little bit of crypto because they're doing so well. And so as time goes on, they ask for more crypto because you log in there and you're like, oh my goodness, it's 5 times what it used to be. And so then you put more money in and you put more money in. And then when you try to take it out, well, it's impossible. Number 1, because it's not there. And number 2, they'll ask for things like, well, we need $1,500, we need $3,000 for wiring. Because we have to have it run through our attorneys, or there are many excuses, and they ask for more and more money, and you never get your money back. Go with someone like Caleb Brown. Keep it self-custody. Just don't trust, like I said right up here. Assume everything incoming is a scam. Coinbase reveals its own attack case, how hackers breached the system through layers of social engineering. And this is the company that's keeping your crypto. Coinbase employees fell for social engineering. You shouldn't. So how can you prevent social scams? These are just some basic, simple suggestions, and it's to make you think. So make sure you secure your computer, secure your mobile devices, use a hardware wallet. Don't use public Wi-Fi. Always use a password manager. Always use 2FA, MFA on sites. That's going to be really important moving forward. Use a service like Proton Mail for trading accounts and separate your crypto trading, your financial side of things in a different email. Don't use your personal email so that people don't really know what email address that you're using for your financial things. Secure your cell phone from SIM swap attacks. Don't rely on SMS for 2FA. So don't rely on a text message to have your 2FA. Don't leave your coins on an exchange. Don't connect your accounts with an API key. And some of you may not understand what that means, but let's say you're using TradingView. There is the ability to hook up TradingView with an API to an exchange, and so that you can trade crypto from TradingView. Also consider what you're doing when you go across a border. You don't necessarily need to take your ledger. And if you do need to take your ledger, make sure that on Ledger Live or other wallets that you remove all the different accounts. If you're asked to produce what is on your ledger, because now everybody knows what a ledger is. If you're going across a border and someone says, hey, we need to see what you're crossing the border with. Well, it's illegal for certain amounts of money. And if you need to bring your ledger, maybe what you need to do is on Ledger Live, remove all your accounts except for maybe one. That's a small amount. So it doesn't look like you have a lot of crypto, because when you go into different countries and someone might know that you have a lot of crypto, well, there could be the $10 wrench attack, which, yes, means you're physically attacked for your crypto. So just be careful of what you're doing when you travel. For the majority of you, these are just reminders of what good, secure practices are. And you can find a PDF of this document down below the video. There's some cool links in it. There's a security report that talks about wallets. There's the best crypto wallets. And another one. So go ahead, click through those, inform yourself on what some of the best ones are. One of the things that I learned in this report is that the app rating, there's different app ratings for MetaMask based on the browser that you're using. So if you're using MetaMask, the best browser to use is Firefox. So take a look through that. Enjoy, hopefully, that you've learned something new today, and everybody, have a great day.